Independence.
That's hard. Now, what do I let her do on her own?
Like I said, they're still kind of my babies.
Hi, I'm Kat Juan Ledesma. I'm a writer, educator, wife, and new mother of 2. Parenting has definitely been my most exciting journey, but it also comes with a lot of questions. So I've asked a few friends and experts to share what they've learned from their own parenting adventures. We've compiled the best stories and tips in the hopes that their experiences will enlighten yours. This is the Parent Files. Brought to you by Ask Off Lagundi, the #1 Lagundi cough remedy.
Just bathing on her own and having her own privacy. So with the onset of puberty, I think that's important, and that she recognizes that she could do it on her own, and I could check on her once in a while. She could play on her own, and then she could close the door, or she could have her own time to herself if she wanted to.
I always have him fix after his mess, bring the dishes to the sink. Also, when we travel, now I let him pack on his own, and then I just check the clothes if it's complete, you know, just those little things. And whenever we'd have conversations, I'll just ask him questions. What do you think? Or when we're deciding about something, then I also ask for his opinion. I think that those little things could encourage independent thinking.
I would really want her to grow up as independent as I am, but I also want to make sure that she feels and she knows that my full support and guidance is there for her, with her. From choosing her own toys, choosing her own clothes, even like when you're in the restaurant, asking for items from the staff on her own. I felt that at an early age, she's ready to be really independent as well. When she was in kinder, like 2nd year and going to school, she told me that, you know, she can ride the school bus by herself and not having any companion. She knows that she can do it on her own. So that's something that I'm also proud of.
My general goal in life so far has been to raise him to be as independent as quickly as possible. But at the same time, it frustrates me that he doesn't do what I tell him to do. When he was about 7 years old, I told him to get on his bike, go all around the village, go to the head of security, ask where the security guards are, and he went to every single gate and introduced himself, which kind of freaked out the guards, I think, a little bit, because they were like, what's this 7-year-old doing, interviewing me with his name and all. But he came back completely confident that he could do certain things, and he was let off by himself, away from our eyes. I knew it was a safe experiment anyway, so it was a good step. And from then, you just give him bigger tasks and see what they're capable of.
I try to lengthen the leash, so to speak. For example, we'll go to the supermarket and I'm with my older kid and she asks for, let's say, fries, which is like 20 steps away, and I'm still in line to pay for the groceries. And I'm like, well, here, I'll give you some money. Can you buy your own fries? And she's still like, no, I'll just wait for you. So I'll just push baby steps again, little things like that, and then slowly progress as we move along.
He's asked to go to the mall alone, you know, which I allow him to do, or he's said, okay, well, no one's gonna pick me up from Glorieta, I'll just walk home. And I allow him to do that because it helps him feel more independent and makes him feel, I guess it gives him a sense of be his own person. The next thing I want him to do is get his own ATM. So little by little, like, I'm gonna start introducing him to things like that. And since he's gonna be homeschooled and he's gonna be with me a lot of the time, then he's gonna have to start learning how to do things. Because I noticed, like the kids nowadays, because when you go abroad and you talk to kids that are 18, they know how to open a bank account, they read the news. When you compare that with how sheltered our children here are, it's that they lack that exposure. I'm happy with the way our kids are sheltered, but at the same time, I want Joaquin to be able to function in society at a young age and know like how to do these things at a young age.
Let her choose her outfits. Sometimes even if I think they're outrageous or too boyish, you know, let her be herself. And that's one thing that I think is safe. Then now, with her gadgets, I trust her. I tell her, I trust you, put a timer. You can't go beyond your timer. Sometimes I'll ask her, I said, did you go over? She says, I forgot to turn it on. I said, okay, then tomorrow, no gadgets. So she knows the consequence. It's up to her to monitor herself.
We made up our minds that, okay, we're going to set guidelines, and if you cross them, you know, there's punishment. And very early on, parang we decided, you know, we can't be wishy-washy about this. One of the good effects of that is that when she got older, she sort of played within the boundaries that we set, and she became very independent, actually. As long as you set the boundaries and the boundaries are clear-cut, she can just go ahead and be herself in that space.
As much as possible, I really want my son, especially in this age. I think the job of parents, first to support and to love, and then second is to equip our children with practical skills and knowledge. So as much as possible, if I know that this is something that he can do and still safe, I let him do it. And sometimes even the things that we consider like crossing the street, or I really want him to be able to do that already. So the first time, yes, I'll do it with him, but then be able to allow him to experience that. And it can be scary at first, but the moment he realizes he can do it, there's a different sense of empowerment. And that's really what I want.